Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the weekly Q&A show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is back from Chicago. That's right, I made it back in one piece, I survived, and for all of you that came out to CPX Paintball in Joliet, Illinois, I thank you graciously. It was a fantastic event. I had so much fun hanging out with Jet and Leah and everybody else there. Definitely worth it for the big Tippmann 2-day game. If you guys missed out, I'm so sorry because it was definitely worth coming. Also, real quick before we get into questions, if this is your first time here on the show, it's really simple how this works. All you gotta do is put a question in the comment section below and make sure you vote up your favorites. Every week, I do look at all the questions from the previous week, pick the best ones. Sometimes they are the most voted up ones, sometimes just ones I think that are good, and get them on the next show, just like this one. It's always about you guys. So also, if you have a video recommendation, also at the end of the video, we do that too. And if you have one that you like, some channel you enjoy, small, big, doesn't matter, put it down there below as well. I'd love to see what you guys have for airsoft videos or anything that's kind of airsoft-ish or military-ish related. But that's it. Oh, don't forget, up here I got patches, new logos, corgis, which have been selling like crazy, almost getting low actually on those, and the Shruggernaut, if you guys don't know. Good old Shrugs here. Doesn't call us hits, but we still love them anyway. But I got all these in the shop. International free shipping, domestic free shipping. So no matter where you live, you pay the same amount of money, and it goes there for no extra charge, which I try to do that to help you guys out because this helps support the show. All right, enough of all that. Let's jump on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Neil Way, right? Does increasing the power of a spring decrease the accuracy in both AEGs and sniper rifles? In a way, yes, it does, and I'll kind of walk through this. So the more you up your power, the faster that BB is going to come out of the barrel, and it's going to be affected by outside factors a lot more. So when you're shooting, let's say, a .20 gram BB, which is kind of the standard airsoft weight when it comes to BBs, as it comes out faster, it's the wind and the wind resistance, all that's going to affect it a lot differently. And I've noticed, personally, you're going to see a wider variation of shots. It's going to kind of go every which direction. You can easily fix that by upping the mass, upping the density of that BB, meaning go up to a heavier weight. It's pretty simple. So as you up that power level, up that BB. The trade-off is you can use that heavier BB in a lower power gun, but you're going to lose range. That's going to be the trade-off, is distance. It's going to start to lose that energy sooner and drop off faster. So to balance out the accuracy when you start upping the power and to get accuracy at range, you're going to up the weight of the BB. That's pretty much the simple and short answer of it. So as you do throw those harder springs in, just plan on moving up the BBs that are heavier weight. For me personally, if you're running a point, this is just kind of a rule of thumb if you guys are playing airsoft. I don't run .2s unless I'm playing CQB and I'm engaging at like 30 feet or less, like really tight CQB courses. Then I'll run .20 gram BBs to save money because, you know, they're actually pretty much a little more affordable than the rest. Normally, I will run at bare minimum for a gun that shoots, let's say, 325 to 350 feet per second, a .25 gram BB. That's going to be my baseline BB that I'm running. Typically, I do move up to a .28 for most things, and especially when I start getting to that 400 feet per second level. And really for my 400 feet per second guns, I've moved almost exclusively over to .32s or 3.3s or 3.1. So the G&G Bios and the Elite Force Milsim Maxes, both of those are biodegradable because I play a lot of outdoors. I really enjoy these BBs, and they are heavier weight. They give me that accuracy I'm looking for because I'm taking less shots, so I want each shot to count. I don't really lose a lot of range on those personally, just by going to the heavyweight BB, and what I get in accuracy makes up for it a lot. So I know you kind of got two answers for the price of one there, but that's what you got to do when you do up the power and you start getting a little squirrely on the accuracy, is up the weight of the BBs. PJ Millions writes, do you think airsoft is sometimes too lax with things like trigger discipline or where the muzzle goes? If I had $1 for every time I was barrel swept, meaning the barrel in a safe zone went sweeping past me, I would be a rich man. It happens all the time, and I see people walking around their finger just right around that trigger of the gun. Yes, and I think it's an education thing. I mean, I grew up personally around firearms, real firearms. So at a very early age, as soon as I was curious enough to understand what they were, I was taught the safety of a real gun, and I've always respected that my entire life. You don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and you don't point at something unless you plan on shooting what you're pointing at. I think it's really, like I said, an education thing. A lot of players, it's their first time they've had a gun, they're not familiar, they're not careful with the muzzle, which meaning the end where the BB comes out is the muzzle, if you guys aren't familiar with what that is. And yeah, I think it's pretty lax. I'd like to see shops and fields be a little more careful about that, because in the safe zones, you can still have a BB in the gun, in the chamber, and even if the safety's on, people can bump it. I've seen people shoot an empty gun in a safe zone. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I would like to see an increase of safety in airsoft. I think the more people can help, the better. I think it's all of our jobs, mine included, to help people understand what is safe, what's not, and how to handle your airsoft gun in a responsible and mature way. Golden Ammo 4 writes, "Hey Jonathan, do you consider pulling your hop-up all the way back so it's less feet per second, cheating the chrono?" All right, so if you guys didn't know this, you actually can dial your hop-up all the way off, and it will affect your feet per second. And you can dial it all the way up, and it'll affect your feet per second readings on the chrono. In fact, it can greatly affect your chrono readings. And I have absolutely seen people do that and cheat the system. Absolutely. That is something that is for sure. It has happened, and I do consider dialing your hop-up back cheating. For me, you need to go in chrono with the hop-up setting what you're going to play at. So if you're going to be playing where your hop-up set for that .25 or that .28 gram BB and you're getting that nice flat shot all the way out, that's where you should chrono. If you're going to the chrono and you're intentionally dialing that back to beat the system, you are absolutely cheating in my mind. That's just my personal thoughts, my personal opinion on this matter, but I do think that's it. I think a lot of fields understand that and they will check that. I just think you should chrono with the hop-up setting that you are going to play at, and not, I mean, of course you're gonna fine tune a little bit, but not dial it all the way off to cheat the chrono and get 20 feet per second drop. So you can come now and shoot, let's say the limit's 400, now you're shooting 420 feet per second, and you've got a 20 feet per second boost on someone, and it's not fair. That's cheating. That's absolutely cheating. Finmelia writes, "Hey Jonathan, here's a question. When you shoot a full gas blowback magazine, does it use up all your gas, or does it have some left in it?" Actually, most of the time, you're gonna have a little gas left in that mag. They typically design gas mags to have more gas than you need to get all the BBs out. Now, will it be enough gas to make it shoot as hard as it normally could? Probably not. Those last couple shots may be a little weak. But do you have to reload a couple BBs? Could you get a few out of the gun more? Yeah, probably. You definitely could. It also depends on the gun. Some guns have really big magazines, and I've even seen them, you can get 2 full magazines worth of BBs on a gas fill on certain guns that have massive magazines. And then you have some that have little thin ones like single stack 1911s where, honestly, some brands, you're running out of gas before you get rid of BBs, all your BBs in the magazine. So it could be a little too small and too short amount of gas in there. So yeah, it really varies on the magazine, but generally speaking, you're gonna have a little gas left over on that last shot, which is actually really good to store your magazine with some gas in it, just to keep those O-rings nice and sealed up so they don't dry as well. So it's kind of good. Make sure you have a little gas in there to put that magazine away. That's kind of a little bonus answer here on the question. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from Hoggard Films. And it's actually a video that I've seen. I think it's a National Geographic series, honestly. They've uploaded it, and it's in entirety right here. And it is inside the Green Berets. It follows a unit of Green Berets in Afghanistan years ago. It's probably been about 7 or 8 years. Through their day-to-day life, an unrivaled behind-the-scenes look where these filmmakers were embedded, I think for a little over a week, or almost a couple weeks actually, with this Green Beret unit there in a forward operating base, actually an outpost, I believe. And unfortunately, at the end of the video, it is kind of tough. They did get ambushed. In fact, the filmmakers even lost a couple of their own during this ambush. So it was pretty brutal there at the end, so having that full view of it. But it is a long one. It's about 50 minutes long, all the way start to finish. But if you guys have some time, this one's a little different. Usually I try to highlight other airsofters, but occasionally I like to throw in these interesting ones like this that I personally enjoy watching. Definitely give Inside the Green Berets a look, and as always, I'll have a link in the description below so you guys can go check out and watch the film when you get some time to do it. All right, that's it for this week. Again, as always, thank you for being so cool in the comment section below, helping each other out when I can't answer every single question, and asking some fantastic questions down there as well. So we're gonna wrap this thing up, and until next week, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.